and this is my presentation on relationships and lies in Fear and Misery of the Third Reich. Nazi Germany attempted to encourage loyalty to the state by disrupting individual relationships and the trust that served as their core. In Fear and Misery of the Third Reich, Brecht showcased this by displaying the effect of power and intimidation on the lives of the people, and the resulting impact on their relationships. In his scenes, Brecht demonstrates how fear and blind obedience led to lies, shaking trust and resulting in the destruction of even the most intimate of personal relationships. One of the biggest allies of totalitarianism is fear. Fear motivates people to be selfish and to look out only for themselves. This can manifest through lies and mistrust, as is seen in The Spy. The father and mother in this scene are nervous that their son may overhear something that he would report to the Hitler Youth, resulting in his parents' arrest. Fear makes their behavior absurd. The father at one point decides to wear his Iron Cross to show his son that he is a proud ally of the Nazis. The mother wonders if moving the photo of Hitler would be a good idea, but quickly casts it aside, putting the photo back where it originally was. They even worry that the money they had given their son to buy chocolate would be seen as a bribe to keep him quiet, resulting in more trouble. Because of this, the parents question and fret everything they say aloud, and live in fear of persecution. Another example, in The Jewish Wife, friends and colleagues of the husband distance themselves for fear of associating with a Jew. They drop the couple completely and avoid them in order to escape Nazi punishment. Colleagues at the husband's physician stop saying good morning to him out of fear. They do not want to associate with him. This leads the wife deciding to flee the country. She does this in order to allow her husband to live a regular life again, but also to save herself from persecution. This fear is the foundation for obedience, causing individuals to abandon their relationships and values in favor of the state. In The Jewish Wife, the husband puts up a little fight when his partner informs him of her departure. At one point, he even agrees that she could use a breather, as shown on screen. Instead of fighting for his wife to stay with him, he remains obedient to the Nazis and allows his wife to leave. This particular scene depicts both the husband and the wife lying to themselves and each other. They both say that it will only be a couple of weeks she will be gone, but in reality, they both understand the gravity of the situation and don't want to admit this to each other, that this is a final goodbye. In The Spy, fear motivates the father to teach content that is untrue, going against his morals. However, instead of holding his ground and doing what is right, he shows his obedience to the state, declaring that he is ready to teach whatever they tell him to. The husband would rather show this obedience to the state and spread lies to the youth, opposed to standing up for the truth. This serves as a metaphor for the obedience many blindly gave to the Nazis at this time. He even asks his wife to give extra money to their maid, who he worries may have overheard their conversation and report them, choosing to bribe her instead of taking a stand. Finally, as a result of fear and obedience, many people begin to lose their trust in their closest relationships. In the Jewish Wife, this is demonstrated through the lies the wife tells to her friends and to her husband, claiming that she will be only gone for a few weeks, when in reality she has no plans to return. This is done in order to show her friends that it is safe to associate with her husband. She avoids the truth, lying to everyone, herself included. As well, as demonstrated on the quote shown on screen, she believes that she can no longer trust her own husband, who she thinks blindly throws his loyalty to the state, allowing them to dictate who he may and may not have in his life. She believes that it is his job to protect her from this persecution, and has lost trust in him for not doing so. This causes her to feel unsafe and want to flee. Finally, in The Spy, the mother and father question the loyalty of their own son, worrying that he has not been truthful to them. They spend the entire scene worrying about what he may have overheard and would report to the Hitler Youth. When he finally comes home, he shows that he had simply been out buying chocolate. Because of their fear and their obedience, the pair do not know whether or not they can trust their own offspring, and worry if their son had been telling the truth or not. They continue to worry and live in fear of the Nazis' persecution. In conclusion, Brecht's Fear and Misery of the Third Reich demonstrated how fear and obedience led to lies, which caused relationships to collapse and isolation to grow. The destruction of these relationships benefited the Nazis, as a population fearful of each other is less likely to rebel and to cause trouble. The spread of lies caused people to put their loyalty to the state even above their closest of relationships. Overall, Brecht was able to showcase how the Nazis took control of all aspects of Germany, from the politics all the way down to the people, through the use of fear, obedience, and lies. Thank you very much.